Hello, everyone. My name is Carolina Mendonça, and I work for the Azores Destination Management Organization. I would like to thank you for the invitation to participate in the Sustainable Tourism Forum 2020. I will now share my presentation and share with you some best examples in the Azores. I hope that everyone can see my screen. So Azores is the greenest and most sustainable archipelago in the world. I will briefly show you some examples of why we are the most sustainable archipelago. But first, I will do a quick framework. So the Azores are a group of 9 islands, an archipelago of 9 volcanic islands in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean with 250,000 inhabitants. It is one of the 2 autonomous regions of Portugal, staying 1,500 kilometers from Lisbon. Its main industries are agriculture, dairy farming, livestock, fishing, and tourism, which is becoming the major service activity in the region. Since 2015, the Azores witnessed a 108% growth in overnight stays. We needed to adopt a long-term strategy that was both beneficial for tourism and for the local population, contributing to local economic benefits and at the same time protecting the natural and cultural resources. But why tourism? Tourism is a driver for sustainable development because it is a dynamic activity that involves many other sectors in a collaborative approach. This means that in order to claim ourselves as a sustainable archipelago, we must implement sustainable practices not only in the tourism activity, but in other sectors as well, and show our best practices in performance areas such as energy, waste management, water management, transportation, and many others. Once we are short in time, I will now share with you some of the just 3 best practices implemented in the Azores. So I would like to start with energy. As we are islands, we rely too much on fossil fuels. So the solution is to rely less on fossil fuels and have a clean, reliable, and competitive energy for everyone. An energy that respects the environment and implies also less costs. And we are working on that. So in the left pie chart, we can see the total amount of renewable energy consumption, which is a total of 37.4%, almost 38% of our energy consumption is from renewable energies, being 23.6% from geothermal energy. And the total energy consumption by sector goes to domestic and products and services as the largest pie slice of this pie chart. Saying that, in order to accelerate the transition to a more efficient energy, the regional government launched a system of incentives that encourages the local population to buy more energy efficient equipment. For example, if I want to buy a solar panel or a heat pump, I can have a financial incentive from 25 to 35%, with a limit of 4,000 euros per equipment. With this incentive, more than 600 energy efficient equipment have already been purchased in the Azores, in every island. Another example that I would like to show you in energy is a project that we have implemented in Corvo. That's why I call it Sustainable Corvo. Corvo is the smallest island of the Azores archipelago. And we have implemented a project that uses technology and innovative solutions, and that is intended to be developed in other islands. Here we have replaced the traditional sanitary hot water production equipment that uses butane gas with more energy efficient equipment. So after the implementation of this project, there was a decrease of about 50% in energy consumption on the island. Significant savings were achieved in the transportation costs because we didn't need to import butane gas anymore. And consumers saw their energy bill increase significantly since they started to produce energy based much more on renewable sources for self-consumption. Another example that I need to bring to you is about waste management. So we are talking about islands, and islands are small. So one of the questions that we need to make is, where does all the waste go? With the increase of the tourism flow and the increase of the population, if we didn't implement any measures, the scenario looks like this. This is, I believe, 10 years ago. The landfills looked like this. Some of the problems we faced has to do with deficient infrastructure for the final treatment of waste and an increase in the quantity of packaging waste. So the goal is to send zero waste to landfill, increase the amount of waste that is recycled, and make the transition from a linear economy to a more circular economy. So what have we done? The regional government and the local municipalities sealed and requalified some landfills, replacing the existing landfills with waste management operators and waste processing centers. This is how it looks like now. So in the left image, you can see a lot of cards that is being prepared to send to the mainland so that it can be recycled. On the right image, you can see the waste being sorted. I believe it's more plastic to be recycled as well. The regional government also conducts some efforts to provide waste minimization and recycling information for residents, like these leaflets that you can see, Azores sem palhinhas, it's Azores without straws. The other leaflet is about banning the plastic bags in the Azores, not banning, but reducing at least. The other leaflet is saying, together we are going to act for waste reduction. We have also this colored bins in every municipality that encourages people to sort their waste. And we have also promoted some activities with the local community in every island, for instance, beach cleanups. I would like to show you this chart. So with the measures that we have implemented, we can see that since 2012, we see a waste reduction to landfills, which is the brown line. And we can see that the recycled waste has increased since 2012. We only have landfills now in 2 of the 9 islands, which is Pico Island and São Miguel Island. Every other island doesn't have a landfill anymore, which means that every single one of them we can recycle the waste, and the normal waste, the one that can't be recycled, is sent to São Miguel Island or sent to Terceira Island, where we have the incineration center. The waste that goes to the incineration center is also for energy recovery. The third example that I would like to bring you today has to do with some of the history of the Azores. So in the 18th century, Azorean people started hunting whales with the influence of American whalers that discovered that this area was abundant in whales. The boats that the Azoreans used to catch the whales were these canoe-like boats equipped with sails and oars. And the living conditions in the Azores were really tough because the islands were too isolated. And the Azorean whaling industry became a fundamental economic asset during 1.5 centuries. The problem is since whaling began, there has been a growing concern for the state of whale populations around the world. Many populations have been hunted to near extinction and still face many threats today. So in 1987, we stopped whale hunting, and this activity was replaced by a new growing sector, tourism. So in the early 90s, new economic activity takes place, whale watching, and marked a new type of relationship with these cetaceans, through which these mammals are still a resource, but this time much more valuable while alive. So this is an example of how tourism protects the environment. With the growth of this activity, the activity must be regulated in the Azores and has many guidelines for its operation, like approach methods, the duration of the interaction, and there's a limited number of boats that can approach the whales. So this is what I have to bring to you today. I hope that you have enjoyed it. We are aware that we have done so much, and there is so much that can still be done. But we must be aware that sustainability is a marathon, not a 100 meters race, and it takes time to see progress. Thank you very much for your attention, and I look forward to answer to any question you might have in the Q&A panel. Thank you very much.